Alright boys, we're back at it again. I got a little project going on with a buddy of mine. He and I both like tractors. He picked a pretty sweet ass tractor up for a pretty good price, and I'm helping him kind of run through it and get some stuff fixed. Got a big service to do to it, and I've been through a bunch of wiring on it that was really just hacked up and half-assed. But I've got a little project going for the tractor. First, let me show you the tractor and what I've mocked up, and I'll put that in. And then I'll show you what I've got done. So you'll see that what I did was cardboard and tape, and what I've done is I've taken it down into pieces. Here's a couple of the pieces, and I've just cut it out of this piece of steel here. It's I don't know what thickness it is. It's fairly sturdy. And I should have showed the process of cutting it out and all that mess, but you can see there's 3 little circles on the ground. And this is what I got going. This is just tacked together for right now. I'm going to try and get over there and make sure that all my measurements were correct and it's going to fit the way I want it to before I finish weld it out, finish it off and paint it and everything. And me and him talked about it, and he actually bought the exact same set of gauges that I put on my tractor. They're the auto gauge white face with the black pointer. They're really easy to see without having to really put your eyeballs on it. You know, if you're in the middle of bush hogging, you want to glance down and be able to see what's going on. I kind of wish the pointers were orange, but this is still a lot easier to look at. I noticed a few times that I've been running my John Deere that mine were very easy just to glance down at and know what I was running. Anyway, so this is part of it, and as soon as I'm gonna try and get at it. It's kind of late tonight. I've been out here working on it. I called him. He was fitting to get in bed, so what I'm gonna do is he'll be up early in the morning. I'm gonna run by there, do my final mock-up on it, make sure everything is correct. Then I'll finish weld it, paint it, install the gauges, and I've got a few little supplies that I've got to get for the gauges to hook them up for the tractor. So as soon as we get all this finished out, I'll be back with a painted and finished product. Alright boys, we headed back to my buddy's house to work on his Kubota again. I got a few things in the truck with me, including a biscuit and a Mountain Dew. Of course you gotta have that. So, see if I can get this old gauge pod finished up, at least finished mocked up. That way I can take it back to the house and finish weld it, get it painted. And I'll have to make a few errands and get the last few little pieces we need to hook the gauges up. But I'll be by myself, so I'll film what I can. So here we go. All right, boys, I got this thing pretty much mocked up where I need it. And I didn't bother trying to load up my welder. I'm just using his. It's a cheap little flux core. It'll do the job just to hold it together. It ain't the prettiest. I mean, you know, I don't know why people start out on flux core welders. I've been welding for a long time, and I can't make this thing weld worth a damn. That looks awful. Y'all seen my MIG welding before, and it don't look nothing like that. I don't know what's up with flux cores. They ain't no good. So anyway, it'll hold it. She's pretty sturdy, so that'll give me time to finish weld it out and everything. I got to measure up for the oil line. These are mechanical gauges, so the water temp has the little capillary tube that'll run down to the block. I've got to get a fitting for it. The oil pressure is mechanical. I always run a -3 braided stainless, and it's going to run down through the dash and down through the side and off to the side of the motor. That'll work fine. I got to measure for it. I got to get a fitting. The charge gauge I can just wire in to key on power, so that when it powers on, it'll see voltage, and when the alternator kicks, it'll read that it's charging. We went ahead and had, of course, my boy Dave's Armature hooked him up big time, freshened the alternator, did a 1-wire kit to it, because like I said, the cluster on this is fried. Everything on it goes to blinking and carrying on, and I'm finna take some of these lights out of here because none of them work. there's something wrong with the cluster. So this is part of the reason why we're putting gauges on here, is because the cluster doesn't work. And I've still got to figure out the fuel gauge, fuel, to see if we can get it to work, because fuel gauge is something good to have, and I'd hate to have to rewire a bunch of shit and put fuel gauges on the thing too. So I got a little more work to do. I'll end up taking this home, finish welding it out, painting it up, installing the gauges. I'll run the errands later to get the rest of the fittings. So that's what she'll look like. And of course, I'm sitting in the chair, and this is about eye level. So if you look straight up out of the tractor, you bush hogging, you can just kind of glance down at the gauges and keep on running. Should work out real well. So as soon as I get back to the house and finish weld it and get it painted, I'll shoot y'all another little video and see what she's turning out like. All right, boys. Back out here on the Kubota that I made the gauges for. Should have filmed the install, but I didn't. They are installed. See the wires under there, put grommets on it and everything. There's the temp sensor. And right now I'm doing fuel filters and draining oil and whatnot. I got a big service to do to it. There's the oil feed line. And let me show you the gauges. Let me climb up here. They turned out beautiful. I mean beautiful. Let's see. This is my eye level. Of course, you can look right out. And they work perfect. You turn them on. I got key on power. I can't crank it because there ain't no oil in it. And I've got them wired up so that when you turn the headlights on, bing, they light up with the gauges. See if we can, yep. See? So they are all wired in, looking fresh, other than my oil pressure gauge is slightly tilted. I think she's a little tight. Oh well. And this is a, you know, I know she's orange. I can't remember what it is. This is a M6950. This is an old State Department tractor. It's got a real nice ROP setup on it. Pretty nice piece. It's got, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 hours on it. Even with the old oil in it, at high idle, this thing makes almost 100 PSI oil pressure. So far what we've got done is the gauges and the wiring. It's got a new fuel level sensor in it because the old one, let's see, the float had rotted off of it. So we got a new fuel level sensor that works on the dash. All the dummy lights have been taken out of it because all those switches have been bypassed. It has a 1-wire alternator on it from Dave's Armature. Brand new set of belts. I've got the new fuel filters on it. Oil is draining. I've got fuel filter, air filter, oil filter, hydraulic filters, hydraulic oil, engine oil, and we're going to flush the cooling system on it. So far, he's made a new battery box for it, put a battery and some cables in it. He made this piece of sheet metal down low because it was missing. He got the grill kind of beat back out because it was messed up. You know, it's been used hard. So it does have brand new tires on the front. The back tires are about 3 years old. And this is one thing I really like. He mounted this up there because it is perfect for hauling a cooler and a chainsaw on, and you still have plenty of room to hook up. That's freaking genius. He's got one on his Mahindra too. I forgot, he did put brand new tail lights in it, and those both work. So far going pretty good. So I'm gonna keep on going on this service, and we'll check back in a little bit. All right, boys, we're done with it. Cooling system flushed. We realized that we missed a washer, so I pulled the air cleaner back out to put the extra little rubber washer back in this air filter. Radiator flushed. Got it all done. All needs is a final cleaning and assembly. There it is.